Today, I'll be showing y'all how to get rid of delay in NBA 2K25. If you've noticed that the parks are choppy, you are not the only one. Everybody on NBA 2K25 is having this issue right now. And the reason for that issue is because the servers are very packed right now. The game just came out, everybody is on the game, and the servers are very crowded. But there are a few really key things that you can do to minimize the delay on NBA 2K25, which of course I'm going to be showing y'all how to do in this video. If you're enjoying NBA 2K25 so far, like the video and sub to the channel, because the first 2 weeks of the game, I'm going to be posting daily NBA 2K25 content. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into the video. So the first thing, and probably the biggest thing that you want to do in order to get rid of delay on NBA 2K25 is going to be to purchase a LAN cable. Now what a LAN cable does, it plugs from your router directly into your console or PC, and it's going to connect your console or PC directly to your router, giving you way better internet speed, and it's also going to reduce how much you chop in game. So if you're chopping a lot on NBA 2K25 and you do not have a LAN cable, this is probably why. Once you get a LAN cable, you will notice a huge difference, and your internet is going to be way faster than it was before. Now getting into method number 2, this method right here isn't as good as the first method, but it is still very important when it comes to getting rid of delay. That is going to be to plug in your controller, and I know that sounds really simple, but it was proven that plugging in your controller actually does reduce input delay. Now on Xbox, I'm not really sure how it works, but on PlayStation, you do have to do a little bit more if you want to get the least amount of delay when you plug in your controller. The way that you do that, once you plug in your controller, you want to go to the accessories tab at the bottom, click on your controller, go to controller settings. For your communication method, you want to make sure that this is on use USB cable. If it is on use Bluetooth, it is going to have way more delay. If you have it on use USB cable, what it's going to do is basically going to make your PS5 controller a wired controller. But the only thing is, when you unplug it, as you can see, it will just completely disconnect. So make sure that you have a good charger that will stay in and will not fall out. Method number 3, and another really important method when it comes to getting rid of delay, is going to be to invest in a monitor or turn your TV to game mode. I counted these both as one method because they are kind of the same thing. Go ahead and get into the monitor part first. If you really want to be better on NBA 2K25 and really any other game, you need to invest in a gaming monitor. They are literally made to give you the least amount of delay in game. So if you are really serious about gaming and you want to make sure that you have the least amount of delay, I highly recommend going and picking up a low delay monitor. My personal monitor has a 0.5 ms response time. That's what I would try to look for, but if you can't find one with 0.5, I would go for 1 ms. Now, if you have a TV and you do not plan on switching, you need to switch your TV to game mode. Now, depending on what brand of TV you have, it is going to vary on how you actually turn on game mode. Mode on your TV is going to give your TV the lowest amount of delay it possibly can. Now, it's not going to be as good as monitors, so don't go ahead and think that, oh, I don't need a monitor, my TV is good. No, it's going to be like more delayed than a monitor, but it will be better than what it would be without game mode on. Now, method number 4, and I know it sounds really crazy, but do not use the subway. I don't know why, but when people go through the subway on NBA 2K25, it makes them really delayed. I tested this. I went through the subway, played a game, and I was spiking. I couldn't shoot, couldn't move. I couldn't even see my player. It was spiking so bad. But then I closed app, opened my game back up, and tested a game without going in the subway, and I did not spike at all. And it has been like this ever since. So the way that you're gonna have to get around the park is going to be the long way, but trust me, you're going to want to do that because you're going to be spiking really bad. If you don't, you go from the limited edition store area right here, and then you can go from the Rise Park to the Elite Park. Just do not use the subway. It will make you spike. I don't know why it's like that. Hopefully 2K will make a patch in the future. So tip number 5 is going to be to lower your resolution. Now, if you were playing on like 4K, right? For me, my monitor is only 1080p, so I cannot go any higher than 1080p. But if you can go to 4K and you're playing on 4K, while it does look really good, it is going to make you very delayed. And overall, from a competitive standpoint, it's just not worth it. If you go play like my career games, sure, play it in 4K because it's not online. It really won't make you too delayed. But if you go to online, I ain't gonna lie, I would take off that 4K setting, put it to 1080p. Yeah, 1080p is what I would go. If you go any higher, you are going to be more delayed. The next tip, while very simple, is going to be to reset your router. If you reset your router, it can actually really help you. If you haven't reset it for a really long time, maybe your router just needs that reset. It doesn't hurt to reset your router, even though that might not be the cause. The next tip I got for y'all is going to be to clean your console. If you clean your console, that is going to get rid of so much delay, especially if you've never cleaned it since you got it. Over time, your console is going to build up a lot of dust inside, and eventually you are going to need to clean that out. A way you can identify if dust buildup is affecting your console's performance is if it either overheats a lot and you get an overheating warning on your console, or if it turns off randomly. I actually had this issue myself, and what I did, I took my PlayStation apart, cleaned everything, and my PS5 ran so smooth. The next tip is going to be to move your router closer to your PS5. If your router is in a whole nother room, like 3-4 rooms away, that plays a big role in your delay. Unless of course you have an Ethernet. If you have like an Ethernet or a LAN cable stretching across your house and plugging into your PS5 or your Xbox, then it shouldn't really impact your delay that much. But if you do not have a LAN or Ethernet cable and you play wirelessly and your router is in like a whole nother room, then you're going to want to move it a little bit closer, because if your PS5 has to connect, you know, super far away to your router, that is only going to hurt you. Just move it as close as you can and you will definitely notice a difference. The next tip I got for y'all is to take devices that you are not currently using off of Wi-Fi. This also seems like a very small thing, but it will definitely help you. You got like an iPad, an iPhone, you know, a computer, all connected to Wi-Fi. You are not using them. If you disconnect them from your Wi-Fi, that will boost your connection, give you better internet speed, therefore giving you better delay. Another thing that will cause delay is if you have something downloading in the background while you play. If you download something while you play the game, it is going to cause you to lag a lot. So whenever you're playing, make sure to pause your download because that will affect your connection. Another thing that can really help you get rid of delay on NBA 2K25 is going to be to hard reset your controller. If you have never done this, this will definitely help you. Hard resetting it will help you with delay, especially if you've had the controller for a really long time. Now, if you were doing this right here, this is why you are delayed, and that is not being in the right service. So let's say that you live in Florida, for example. If you join your friend who plays in California, y'all are going to be on 2 different servers, and depending on who joins, either let's say your friend joins you, you're going to be on your servers, but if you join your friend, you are going to be on his servers. You just want to make sure that you are playing on your servers. If you go to a different one that isn't close to where you live, you are going to be way more delayed. Just double check that the person you were playing with is on the same servers as you. Another thing that you gotta make sure that you're doing in order to get rid of delay on NBA 2K25 is going to be to refresh your frames. If you watch any pro player or any player that plays in wagers, you're going to notice that they do this very often. Just go out the game, go right back in. They do that so often. And the reason that they do that is it actually reduces delay when you do that. See, because if you play for a really long time without doing that, it actually will make you delayed. So make sure you are doing this very often in game. I usually do it in between possessions. Let's say like a foul occurs in the game. Doing this immediately. Not wasting no time. You gotta make sure, especially in this 2K where it's a little difficult to shoot, you gotta make sure that you are refreshing your frames very often. Now that pretty much wraps it up for the video. Thank y'all so much for watching this video all the way through. If this video helps you out, I would really appreciate it if you can like and sub, because it did take a while to find out these methods, and you already know, like, I can't give out the sauce for free. At least, you know, just help me out a little bit. Give me a like, give me a sub. But now that you have the best tips to get rid of delay on NBA 2K25, you might still need a jump shot, and if that is the case, I recommend watching the video in the top right. That video right there has the best jump shot for every height and 3-point rating. Yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video.